everybody, and welcome to the Lab Rats Entertainment Podcast. My name is Ezra, and I'm joined by Sawyer and Caleb. Caleb is here sort of partially because Ahmad isn't here, and partially because we wanted to have him back. So
Because it's been way too long.
yes,
It's good to be back.
and he finally is able to sort of come by as at a time when we record. So
Yeah. That's the main thing right there.
So with that, Sawyer, what is your news topic for this?
So, at TGS, for the uninitiated, TGS is Tokyo Game Show, and they just revealed the trailer, I guess the opening cutscene, and 48.5 minutes of gameplay for Death Stranding.
Quite a lot of stuff.
Now, people may not know why I'm so excited for Death Stranding. The reason why is because it's made by Hideo Kojima, the creator of a little-known series called Metal Gear.
I don't know if you've heard of this series. It's about a guy called.
I haven't really
Solid
talked
Snake.
about it much.
Yeah,
It's not really my
it's,
favorite.
It's not something that it's not something that comes up often on this
No,
show.
no.
You know,
Yo.
Well, the
it's got no humor to it.
the first trailer was not really even really a trailer. It was just like the first 7 minutes of a first cutscene.
Okay.
It kind of just sets up the motivation and the plot and some of the characters. Speaking of which, complete side note, the character names in this game are hilarious. For some of them, they're very Kojima. Like, there's a character whose name is Die Hard Man. Like, and he wears like a metal mask. And it's
Is
like,
Is it like DAI?
all one word.
Die Hard Man.
It's Die Hard Man. It's all
What?
one word. It's
That's so good.
What?
Yeah, I don't even know. Kojima had said that he was releasing all this stuff to help people understand what the game is about. I still have no idea what this game is actually about.
I think everybody's gonna play it to 100% completion and still not know what the game is about.
All I know is that it's about connection and building bridges. But I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what does that mean for gameplay?
So, Fortnite?
yeah,
Just
building
kidding.
a Kojima's making the Fortnite sequel.
Turns out this is the prequel to Fortnite. This is why it all takes place on one island.
Fortnites. That's called.
But I would love it if that was, like, the ending of the game, you know how, like, at the end of Metal Gear games, they do, like, the logo,
title, yeah.
and they do the logo of Death Stranding, and then it fades into Fortnite. It's like,
I'm interested to see
kinda
with this
like
game. Where it's in terms of gameplay, because a lot of it is seeming to be like it could be an online game. We know there's an online component,
yeah,
and it's about just connecting with different people. I'm hoping it's not an only's online game,
yeah.
because they haven't
Yeah.
really even said what the online capability is, and it's not going to just be something as generic as like Team Deathmatch. It's not going to.
No, yeah.
So it could be like, because Metal Gear Solid 5, his last game, had that thing where like you could go from like forward operating bases and steal each other's nukes and kind of do stuff like that. So maybe it's something like that. I just hope it's optional. I want to be able to play a core experience without having to go online.
Yeah.
That's my main concern with the Avengers.
Yeah.
The same thing. You know, we
Because
don't
I'm not
know.
paying for PS Plus to do this.
Yeah, we don't know if it's going to be online. Well,
Yeah.
we know it's going to be online in some sort of fashion. We don't know if the main story is going to tie into that online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it probably will in the way that like most games do it, where it's like an established part of the world that this is something that goes on, but it doesn't actually affect the
core
the
story.
sort of the core story. Kind of like how Destiny does its PvP side, where
Yeah.
it's like there's like the main like PvE elements, and then the PvP stuff is sort of an established part of the lore, but not. It doesn't really affect it all that much.
I haven't watched the 48 minutes of gameplay yet, but
Yeah.
it was just too long and I had classes and everything.
Yeah.
But, I did watch the 7-minute trailer, and from what I could get from it, I think the idea is that Norman Reedus' character, Sam, doesn't want to join because apparently an old friend had kicked him out of some super secret agency because his friend's mom was the president or something like this.
So yeah, we know that this takes place in like near future America.
Yeah, it's
too,
also
right?
like, despite being a Japanese game, it's very much about America.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, we gotta rebuild America, we gotta reconnect, and like I'm pretty sure they said America like at least 10 times in a 7-minute trailer. I'm interested to see what this is going to be. It's also very on the nose, like in terms of what it's about. But I just want to play it now. I just want this game.
Comes out in November, right?
November 5th. We'll get to it in our big discussion later.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to talk too much about it now, because I'm sure it's going to come in later.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what do you guys think about the game?
I haven't watched that new trailer. The most recent thing I saw was the clip of the pee mechanic.
Oh, yeah. Press X to P.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
And it's and I was just thinking like, and when I saw that I was like, so Kojima really hasn't changed at all. He's not doing anything different.
He's just working under a different publisher.
Yeah.
Really is all it is.
And I don't know. I feel like there's no indication of like a gameplay loop or like any sort of gameplay flow that I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's like when I played MGS5, I never beat it, but when I did, there was a very established sort of like flow and like you do a mission, you come back to base, you go out and do another
like,
mission,
extract this guy, find this guy, kill this one.
There
blow
was like
this up.
there was like an established sort of way things operated while they were still continuing the story.
Yeah.
And I feel like every time I watch Death Stranding anything, I still don't know where that is.
What I'm kind of predicting is it's saying you're going from like city to city and
Yeah.
like recapturing them and bringing them as part of the network. I hope it's not this, but I'm expecting it to be kind of like a generic open world thing where you go from like across the map to location, free it from these terrorists, and then fix it. Because that's just so generic.
I'm going to bring in Assassin's Creed into this because in some Assassin's Creed games, they do well with the open world and going from city to city. Assassin's Creed 2 is a perfect example of that. And liberating it. But I'm going to just bring up Assassin's Creed, the first game.
Yeah.
Same premise, you're going from city to city, you're liberating it, but it's the same exact mission for each city, and you can actually almost cheat those missions to get to the... You could easily get that game done within 10 hours. Yeah. It's not that hard of a game.
It's the core like open world game formula. It's the Ubisoft formula.
Yeah,
it really is what it is.
It is. Yeah.
And like I just played Mad Max over the summer, and it's the same thing. Yeah.
Spider-Man, very much the same thing.
And it's seeming more and more that they're, especially with Ubisoft is becoming a exact formula for each game, no matter what. So, what's it called? God.
Is it a Ubisoft game? Division? Assassin's Creed?
Lord.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's legit on the tip of my... My brother played it over this week. Over the summer. It's a 2-year-old game at this point.
Ghost Recon?
No. It would be Ghost Recon.
I think it is a Tom Clancy game, though.
Rainbow Six.
No, not
I'm
Rainbow
just going to Google Ubisoft games. Hold on.
Wait.
I want to know now.
This is a bad future.
Although I do love... I'm beginning to like a lot of Rainbow Six type... God, what is it?
Watch Dogs.
No. Sorry.
Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs,
Far Cry.
Far Cry.
Far
Yeah,
Cry.
there we go.
Okay.
It really shows how similar Ubisoft games are. They were like, which one is it?
Yeah.
Far Cry, Ubisoft?
It further proves my point, because I look at Far Cry and I'm like, these are the exact same mechanics that are in Assassin's Creed Origins, and the same way it's set up.
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped playing Assassin's Creed after Origins, but I played every title.
I hadn't even gotten past... I played Unity was the last one I played. Yeah.
I will defend Unity.
I don't hate it. I liked it. I haven't gone through and played all the others because they take time.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're just time sinks. Is
I but definitely Assassin's Creed is probably a topic for a different day.
Yes.
That's a whole topic in
That
itself.
is a whole topic.
I think with Death Stranding, I trust Kojima. I think he'll do good.
Yeah.
I don't expect him that he'll just make a generic open world game because he's never the one to just do the things everybody else is doing.
There is a P mechanic.
There is a P mechanic.
So
And
you know, it's already unique.
I'm sure it'll be very Japanese, and I can't wait.
Japanese, but also American, which is what Kojima does best.
Basically, it's taking American concepts and ideas, but doing it the Japanese way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my news topic this week is sort of Tokyo Game Show related, but we got a Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer. The game is, every time I see more and more footage of it, I'm more and more excited, but also reassured that this is going to be a good one.
It's going to happen.
Well, for one, it's going to actually come out. They're not pulling some hijinks on us. And two, that it's, they're actually putting a lot of love into it and trying to make it the best it could possibly be.
Yeah.
The heart is definitely there.
Yeah.
You could definitely, especially with the care in the core characters,
Yeah.
I haven't, I should say I haven't played Final Fantasy VII.
I've played a very small amount of it.
I've played the Kingdom Hearts games, and I've gotten a very good attachment to the characters that have appeared, like Cloud, Aerith, Tifa, all those characters. I already know all these characters, but now I'm actually get to see their game.
Yeah.
And the reason why I actually haven't played the original version is because I'm waiting now just for the remake.
Yeah.
So
I've never played a Final Fantasy game before. I want to. This game looks pretty great.
Yeah.
I want to try it out, but
I mean, I would caution against sort of. I would say if you want a Final Fantasy game that's more like it's more traditional, I would go for some of like the older stuff.
Yeah.
Just because this game is more of an action game.
Well, I think that's part of why I'm more interested.
yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I would play this anyways. I think it looks like a good game, anyways, regardless of whether or not it's Final Fantasy VII.
And Square knows how to make CG cutscenes because wow, this game looks great.
It looks gorgeous. It's one of the best looking games that's going to be on the market. I think.
My only problem with this trailer, trailer, other than the ones that we've gotten before, this trailer was definitely designed for people who played it before.
Yeah.
So it's jam-packed with a lot of specific cutscenes that, had you not played the game, you're like, well, this looks neat.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. And then, I look at reaction videos of it, and, they're like, they're like freaking out, and I'm like, okay.
Well, and I've played through the section that this game is going through.
Mm-hmm.
I've played through that part, and I can definitely see where you're coming from, because there are a lot of like characters and references that you don't really get unless you have played that part of it. But I mean, it looks like they're really sort of going for the sort of the true remake, because they're even gonna keep like the cross-dressing sequence and the
it's basically doing the original game but expanding on it.
Well, it's by my understanding, what this game is going to be is like so in Final Fantasy VII there's like an opening segment that's like 5 hours long or something like that, and it goes and then like once you beat that part, the world opens up. What I'm suspecting is that this game is covering that opening segment, but really expanding on it and just like making a full-fledged game out of that one part.
And if it does well, probably doing another.
Yeah, doing.
Is
Well,
it-
I imagine they're doing more than one anyways.
Is it still episodic, or is it?
It's 2 parts.
I don't understand what's going on. So
Yeah.
this game is coming out on 2 discs.
Yeah.
Like the release is 2 discs. I don't know if that means that the entire game is like if they're actually just releasing the entire thing or not, or if it's like they're gonna do this and then 2 years down the line we get the sequel.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I think there also is some translation issues that's coming through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I don't disagree with you on that.
I think what is the one thing that we need to determine is like
Yeah.
what is the price, because I
Yeah.
think that's going to determine
It's
if
it's
two,
a $60 game. I think.
okay, so if it's a $60 game with 2 discs, I would say that this would be a 2-part game, but it's not exactly finished after those 2 parts.
Yeah.
But if it was the full game and
Yeah.
it came in 2 discs, I would say it'd be about 120.
Yeah. Probably.
Maybe a little less
Maybe.
than that for market standpoint, so 90 or 100.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, so part of the, I think for one thing, Nomura kind of regrets saying episodic.
Mhm.
Because I think that like when we hear episodic, we think like Telltale and
Yeah.
Life is Strange, like stuff like that. Whereas like I think when he used the word episodic, he was more thinking about it like in terms of like a trilogy or something
Yeah,
like
where
that.
it's like they're not doing the whole
Yeah.
game at once. They're
Yeah.
splitting it in between games.
Yeah, which I actually think, given just how much stuff is in Final Fantasy VII that you could expand on, I think it actually makes sense to chop it up a little bit and make the experience more of like a fuller one. Whereas tripping up over my words. Instead of sort of jamming the entire experience into one disc and leaving out a bunch of stuff, like instead just taking your time with the world, I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I think it could also partially be a lot of, like, rather than it being episodic like a Telltale thing,
Yeah.
I think it's just a part 1, part 2,
Yeah,
part
that's
3 type
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But I think it also it's largely likely a translation thing.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah.
There's a I think I don't disagree with you on that.
We'll know when the game comes out,
Yes.
or maybe beforehand.
On March 3rd,
Hopefully, yes.
2020.
I put my pre-order in. I'm excited for it.
This is a side note, but like, I watched the trailer, and I was like, it had all these other like collectible type stuff, including the
yeah.
soundtrack to it. I was like, oh, so that's how you get the soundtracks. I was like, you know,
I think the
they're on
FF7
Spotify.
soundtrack is on like Spotify and Apple
yeah,
Music.
they
and
just
stuff
did
now.
that over E3, but the problem
Yeah.
is, I was thinking more towards Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, oh, so that's how you do it. Literally looked up at Amazon, and I was so close to shelling out over $100 in music.
for the Kingdom Hearts soundtracks. I respect that.
Do you think there's any chance of Final Fantasy VII getting delayed?
I don't think so at this point, but that's my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I feel like we're getting trailers. So this was kind of my thing with when Kingdom Hearts 3 finally revealed its release date.
Mhm.
I was thinking that we're getting like everybody was like, oh, it's obviously gonna get delayed. Like Square can't meet a deadline. I think after Final Fantasy 15, they actually sort of rallied the troops and
Yeah.
were like,
We gotta get this game out."
We need to be a little better about releasing, actually releasing our games. So I think that there's that, and we're getting trailers so steadily at this point, and the trailers look like they could be a finished game. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
see anything unpolished in the trailers.
I also think March is a very safe release date.
Yeah.
In a sense where you have a little bit more time than a November release date. Because
Yeah.
I can think that the producers
Yeah.
of the actual, of Square
Yeah.
were probably wanting a November release, but,
Yeah.
Probably,
yeah.
Well, they want to get it out before it gets buried by Cyberpunk.
right.
Yes. Well, and Nomura probably demanded, like, look, we need
We need more time.
Yeah. Like I think he he's been working on this game. He's been working on 2 games at once for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
And I think he was like, look, I could put out one of these
Yeah.
in the same year, but not 2 of them.
No.
I can't release both of them.
Right, yeah.
That's
true. Well, Kingdom Hearts got delayed too, wasn't it? A
Well,
November
it
release?
was originally going to be 2018, but
Yeah.
they pushed it to like beginning of 2019.
Yeah.
It was like January.
Yeah.
That was
end of
that
January.
was that was a bit heartbreaking.
Yeah. I wasn't mad. I was like, it's close enough. To
Yeah.
I don't care.
Plus, I'd rather have a better game if it means I
Yeah.
have to wait a month. than-
Exactly. Yeah. So Final Fantasy VII Remake. Go check out the trailer. I think it looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been disappointed by any of the trailers. So
Yeah,
far.
it's
Except for that, reveal trailer, which is literally just cloud walking.
Well, it's not the original one in like 2006, right? Where like they had yeah, there was
the
like
original one in 2000.
well, not like it was the tech demo, but like when the PS3 was revealed, they had like this whole not actual game thing of Final Fantasy VII running on the PS3, and then people were like,
Really?
"Hey, that looks really good." Yeah, I didn't know you
I
guys
didn't
didn't
know
this.
that.
They at one of the PS3 early reveal events, they showed footage of what Final Fantasy VII would look like on PS3 hardware, and people were like,
Oh,
"Wow,
okay.
this looks great," and then Square was like, and decided to remake Final Fantasy VII.
And then they eventually decided,
Yeah.
years later,
Yeah.
like
So-
10 years.
So
later.
really, this game exists because of tech demo footage at the reveal
From
of the
the
PS3
PS3
in like
Yeah.
2007.
and now we're about
Yeah.
to get onto the PS5 almost.
Oh, I guarantee this is gonna be on PS5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, just a small tangent. I think given the fact that PS5 has been shown to run PS4 games already,
Uh-huh.
I think we're getting backwards compatibility
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And,
Which
if
hopefully
it
they
is
confirm
backwards compatible, then then it's like almost a day one buy. for
I'm
me.
90%
Like,
sure
it's-
they actually confirmed it.
Yeah, which hopefully means less remasters and over this semester.
Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully, my entire sort of PS4 digital library can just be
Exactly.
transplanted.
I
onto
can
the
almost
PS5.
guarantee that like day one they're gonna basically say, "Hey, all
Yeah.
your games you bought digitally, all you gotta do is just re-download them,
Yeah, which is. Really
or just
nice.
plug in your external hard drive that has them already loaded and just play it off
Be
that."
pretty
Yep.
sick. Be pretty
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
Well.
So Caleb, what is your news topic for?
So keeping with the theme of TGS, and I've already talked about it a couple times
Have you
already.
guys heard about TGS? I
Yeah.
don't know if
It's this really cool event in Tokyo.
Yeah. Lots
And
of Japanese games.
so one of the things that we talked about the last time on the podcast
Yeah.
was Kingdom Hearts,
Okay.
and that was before Kingdom Hearts 3.
That's right. Yeah.
So
It was November of 2018, I think.
That's wild.
Yeah.
and now we're about to go on the cusp of a new release of a new Part 2 Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
It's the DLC trailer for,
The Remind package.
and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm cautious.
Yeah, we were talking about this
Right.
yesterday, and I was my issue with the trailer was not that I didn't like anything that was in the trailer.
Right.
It's that I still don't know what I'm actually getting with this DLC.
Well, did they have that same weird issue about like the audio not being there?
No,
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 okay.
no, no, no.
No, that's
there was
that's not the problem.
there was Japanese voiceover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was fine.
Yeah, that's fine. They had English captions. so
Yeah.
it was
Because I know like one of the first trailers, I think it was like E3, where the audio just didn't work or something like that.
No,
Well,
they just
that
did-
it was a weird mixing decision. It
Oh.
wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't that it didn't work.
Oh, okay.
It's that they just decided to take out the sound effects for the trailers and put over the theme
That's
song.
a weird
Yeah.
decision. Yeah.
Because they still had them talking.
Yeah.
So it was incredibly strange. But
Yep.
in any case, my issue is that like I'm gonna I'm a big enough Kingdom Hearts fan to buy this regardless.
Right. Yeah.
The problem is that like I still don't know exactly what I'm paying $25 for.
Right.
Which I guess I assume that's what this is gonna
My mind's
cost.
been saying 30, but then also I thought to myself the other day, I'm like, well, that's the price of Kingdom Hearts 3 now. So like,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is very unfortunate, by the way.
Yeah. Actually, you should. I'll say this: if you don't have Kingdom Hearts on PS4,
it's well worth to get the whole series.
Yeah, you can get the right now until the 24th of September. Digitally, you can get literally every Kingdom Hearts game released on PS4, which is all of them but two the worst ones, arguably. Days and Coda.
Well, Days is an amazing story. But...
It's an amazing story, but you don't get the actual game.
Well, I thought the story so far it's just like cutscenes.
There's an all-in-one package for like $50, which gets you 1 Chain of Memories, 2 Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, 0.2, and then the 3 movies that sort of come in that package, and then also 3. So you get literally the entire series for $50.
It's well worth the buy, but you have to have a time commitment.
Yes.
I would probably also like.
It's worth it for Kingdom Hearts 2 alone.
Are the ones that are the movies like the DS games and the Game Boy game? Are those the ones?
Yeah.
Well, it's the 2 DS games. One that was just like they released it because they could, and then there's and then the Game Boy game is like a remake of the Game Boy game that they did back in 06 or something like that. It's like an HD remaster of the remake of a Game Boy game. Is what it.
But getting back to Remind a little bit and kind of your concern about, I'm not sure how this is. I'm getting more and more afraid that this is just going to be final mix. Like we're getting cutscenes and we're getting additional. We're only getting new forms of gameplay to the original story. We're not getting any new stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my fear. We're not going to any.
Well, I would actually be more concerned if we were getting like an extra epilogue or something that. Yeah, I would, because I think that I prefer the kind of final mix thing where they just add on to the original game and just sort of add a little bit more meat to the bones, because that's what I think makes Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix so good, is that it's like 2 was already a good game, but Final Mix adds just so much meat to the bones that it made Kingdom Hearts 2 go from pretty good to amazing. And and I would say that if they could do that for 3, because I think you and I could agree that 3 like having a little bit of time away from 3 is lacking a little bit of that meat.
Yeah.
So
especially in its third act.
Yeah, I would say that, like, the game already has some really amazing moments in it, and so to add a little bit of flesh to those bones is gonna do wonders for it.
Well, they got me sold either way with that. With any form of, whether it's an additional cutscene or an actual fight, which I'm hoping this is the case.
Yeah.
With Lingering Will, I'm hoping it's just like the Roxas fight in Kingdom Hearts 2.
That would be pretty cool. For context, in Kingdom Hearts 2 there was a fight that was only a cutscene that in Final Mix they made a boss battle out of.
Interesting.
And it looks like they could be doing the same thing with another fight in Kingdom Hearts 3, except it would be even more exciting here. I think you would agree, because the character that you would be playing as is a super boss that kicked your butt in Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's a revenge story,
and so it would be very satisfying to actually play as that super boss.
Yeah. And then also, facing off against Terranort, who did we? Yeah, we did face off against him in 3, but he was very nerfed. He was nerfed.
Well, to be fair, fire magic basically nerfs the entire game.
Yeah. So with the with story DLC, typically there's either the kind of DLC that takes place like during the game of something you didn't see, or there's the DLC that takes place after the main game, or the ones that is like before. So is this before, during, or after the game?
So mostly during, by my understanding.
I read a theory. Now you want to hear a theory? It's
Sure.
up to you because
Sure, why not? I don't really care about.
okay, this is a pretty cool theory,
Okay.
and it has to deal with one of the first few lines in the trailer about your heart was already in the past.
Oh yeah.
There's no stopping it.
Oh, this is like.
This is a theory that this is post game, and it's actually you're going through the events. It's like a time travel thing. You're going through the events, and it's basically what happened. Sora sacrificed himself before the battle.
Oh, interesting.
So it's going to remind you of what happened, while also telling you. It's an interesting theory, but
the interesting thing about this DLC, for one thing, you have to have beaten the game to play it.
Yeah.
For another thing, you don't access it through like the game itself. It's like another menu in the title screen or something like that, and it looks like it's just sort of adding on to. Like, it'll take your save file and just sort of use it for whatever purposes you have. So I think that's an interesting theory.
Yeah, it's an interesting theory, yeah.
We know for a fact that there's going to be some expansion on the ending itself, just because we have some pretty clear dialogue that indicates that we know that they're expanding on the ending to 3. And hopefully we're probably getting it, but hopefully we get a really bonkers secret ending too.
I'm hoping.
Because the secret ending, I don't know if you know this, but in Kingdom Hearts games there's like an actual ending where it's like kind of where it's kind of like the story continues kind of thing, but then there's always a secret ending that's kind of like a kind of next time on,
and it's harder too.
It's kind of like
playable
when you play Halo has their legendary endings, and there's like a tease to the next game.
It's so like at the end of 1, there was a tease for something.
It was the Roxas fight with Riku. But...
Yeah, it was they tease sort of what might be happening in 2, but you don't actually, but like you'd have no context for
right.
it. You recognize like one of the characters, and it's like, and even then he looks super different, so it could be mistaken easily and stuff like. And then at the end of 2, you get like 3 new characters that you have like no idea
and it's
why
a preview for basically
it's
a prequel.
It's the preview for a prequel, and then at the end of 3 we get just a really bonkers thing where I think it's not really a spoiler to say that Sora wakes up in the real world.
Like,
is it the real world?
No, that's not.
No,
we don't know. He wakes up in Japan.
Oh, okay.
And we get a couple of character reveals that like shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Like, is
so like
there?
it teases a major Square crossover. It teases. Doesn't know if we don't know if we're getting the crossover, but it at least teases.
The World Ends with You.
The World Ends with You game. Final Fantasy 15.
Okay.
With the music cue.
Somnus is playing.
Yeah, and then we get Verum Rex, which is a version of the canceled Final Fantasy versus 13.
Well, it's
game.
like the when you're introduced to Verum Rex, it's in the Toy Story world, and it's a video game that Rex is playing.
Oh, interesting.
And so you find out in the secret ending that the main character from that game is like watching one of the characters sort of walk
Right.
by, and
Oh.
so
It's pretty mind blowing,
yeah,
actually.
it's kind of a big game changer because it's one of those moments where you realize that you have no idea what Nomura is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Kevin Feige of Square.
He
He's
is. Yeah, he's and so it's is he assembling the Square Avengers?
He's
Yeah,
the
like-
Nick Fury of all.
Yes. Oh
So-
man, what if in the next Kingdom Hearts game you see like Nomura wearing an eye patch?
It's like he
Put some
walks
stuff
out
in
in like
there.
this robe, and
With-
it's like
with some-
I've been expecting you.
With some giant shoes and
Yes, exactly.
the
Lots
chains.
of belts.
Yeah, the
So it was
zippers.
like, welcome, Mickey. And just comes here. Like,
Oh,
with
man.
Bob Iger sitting
Oh, yeah.
standing next to him.
Yes.
of course, Disney would get a cut because they're
Yeah. I think, by my understanding, I think nobody owns Sora, like the character of Sora, but Nomura.
Yeah, I think so
Actually.
too. Yeah, I agree
Like
with that.
Nomura licenses out Sora for Kingdom Hearts games.
Of course.
and Disney like Square makes the games.
Yeah.
But Nomura has ownership of Sora.
I have a
Disney
feeling.
has ownership of
Their
Disney
characters.
Plus.
I have a feeling it's very similar to the Spider-Man deal that was.
Oh.
That's a topic
Kind
for a
of.
different
Well,
day, but
at
I have
least
a feeling
because
on the Lend-Lease type thing,
Yeah.
I think it also works more though because Disney doesn't really care about video games,
Right.
so they'll
Yeah.
just allow it.
Yeah, they just kind of let Nomura do whatever they
it just
want.
amazes me on how the voice actors they get. It's
Oh,
just-
But-
Yeah, they got Kristen Bell for
And
for
And Leonard
Anna.
Nimoy in the other game.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Rip.
Yeah.
He was a big character too.
Oh man, I just
he was the main
watched.
villain of the franchise.
Oh, okay.
It,
I just watched his episode on like his two-parter on Star Trek: The Next Generation,
uh-huh.
and I was very sad.
Yeah, he was a really cool guy.
And then the replacement to Leonard Nimoy also passed away over the summer.
Which one was he?
I don't know his name.
yeah,
he was
I
a
don't
big
remember
actor
his
though.
name, Yeah. He's,
He passed away, so now
It's kind of like when they replaced when Ian Abercrombie died. They replaced him with Sam Witwer for Palpatine, I believe,
yeah.
in the cartoons.
Clone Wars,
Yeah, in
yeah.
cartoons.
yeah, it's unfortunate when actors pass away sort of mid-franchise.
Or just
Yeah.
at any time.
Yeah,
really.
at any time, but mid-franchise especially, because it's like, well, now we have to.
And especially when they care about their work, too.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
when they're, like, trying to help the fans, I think I remember the most, I know this is off topic, but Paul Walker, when he died during
Mm.
Fast and Furious, because, he
Yeah.
really cared about that series.
Yeah, so I would say we're both, we've kind of trashed on it a little bit here, but I think we're both excited.
We're
about
both
the
excited
DLC.
for it. We just expressed our concerns. I think is what it
yeah.
is.
And I mean, without, it's. I think the DLC, what they have said about the DLC is pretty great because it just it sounds like they're adding just a ton of stuff that like is good for Kingdom Hearts games. So with that, I think that sort of wraps up our Kingdom Hearts discussion. Sawyer, what is your sort of 10 minutes of
So,
random?
I couldn't remember if I talked about this on here before, considering it had finished the weekend after we got out of spring semester.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to talk about Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And the contentious relationship I have with it.
Okay.
So, a perfect way to describe Game of Thrones. This is a meme I saw online, but it works. I know you guys. I told you about it before,
Yeah.
but it's a meme of this picture. It's this drawing of a horse. The back part is highly detailed, like museum level art. The middle
Yeah.
part, really well done, but not as good as that first part. And then the last part is like a child's drawing. That pretty much describes the progress of Game of Thrones over the course of its seasons. It's okay. First of all, I should ask. Okay, Caleb, I know you've seen it, right?
Yep.
And
I have seen footage of it, but I have not watched a single episode through.
so I want to get from an outside perspective. What have you heard about season 8 in terms of complaints?
So I actually know what happens in season 8,
Alright.
and
Spoilers, by the way, for
yeah,
season 8.
full
Yeah.
spoilers for the entirety of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I think that what I have perceived was the first 2 episodes of season 8, everybody was like riding high, like, yeah, this is shaping up to be pretty good. Yeah. Like, people were optimistic after season 7 kind of left everybody feeling a little bit like unsure of the show's future.
Yeah.
So the first 2 episodes, everybody was like, yeah, this is looking pretty good. Not thrilled about how long that sex scene was, but whatever. And then
I'm trying to remember which one that could be.
In the first 2 episodes?
is it maybe it's the third one.
Wait, are we thinking of the Arya thing? Or
No, you said it was...
Granted, there's plenty of them,
There's
so
so
it's
much.
like...
I just remember a conversation where it was like, yeah, I mean, it's fine, but why did you have to, like, show it?
Okay. I mean, that's...
Yeah,
there's plenty of that.
There's a lot of those in there.
In any case, like, the first, 2 or 3 episodes are kind of like that, and then slowly it sort of devolved into, like, we saw a Starbucks cup.
We saw a water bottle.
We saw a water bottle. We saw... It actually, we couldn't see anything because the battle was too dark, and there's like all of this. There was just like all of this stuff that like was getting in the way of people's enjoyment.
Yeah.
And then they pulled some really like weird stuff with the characters and stuff like that.
It was a perfect storm of everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it was like, I was kind of sad because it was like, even though I've never watched it, like, knowing that so many people loved this show, that this final season was not...
The biggest problem was characters not acting like themselves.
Yeah.
Well, kind of getting... Sawyer, we talked about this yesterday. You said the first 3 episodes are pretty strong.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
And then the last 3 are, not so great. I agree with that, but I also think I was thinking more on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking I really liked episode 4 up until the last half of it, and there's an actual transition in that episode where they're dealing with the remnants of the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah. And
I felt like that was an extremely strong episode until, they journey off, and it feels like it was 2 episodes in one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is where I think things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where the season goes wrong. There's some iffy stuff beforehand. Especially with the Battle of Winterfell not being able to see. I could see it, but that's my own...
From what I've seen, just complete side note, don't mean to interrupt you here, but I wanted to say for that, a large part of it apparently is it does look good, but we're watching this on older TVs,
right.
not as high quality, and it was meant for, whether they should have done it or not, it was meant for HDR and 4K screens that
Which is so foolish.
Yeah.
I don't know how somebody let them get away with doing that. So it doesn't make any sense.
Like, if you... I watch it on, like, an old busted TV here, so it looked pretty bad, but when I watch clips of it on my 4K TV at home, it looks pretty great.
Yeah.
It's the contrast does not work well on old, especially standard def TVs.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's
go ahead.
That's a real problem.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I just think that's where the transition happens. And then it is really shown in the next episode.
Yeah.
There were some messy parts in the end of the episode 4, but it's really, really episode 5 where it's like, I don't like where this is going.
Yeah.
And I remember I was unable to watch the last episode live.
Mm-hmm.
I was so paranoid because I didn't want to get spoiled. Thank God I didn't get spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
But I was at this event, and I was talking to one of my friends at this event who also was in the same position as I am.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "This is really, I hate." I'm trying to quote him. He's like, "I hate putting this on like shows and stuff, and like." Being the last episode is a make or break type thing for the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like for this series it is.
Yeah.
Because of just how, and I agree with it because it's just how the series sets itself up as.
Yeah.
There's a clear end game from even season 1.
Yeah, it's building to something. It's what the whole
Right.
show's been.
Yeah.
And, it's always been a joke of, like, winter is coming and we'll never get it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Within the first 4 seasons, because they're so great with...
Yeah. They're really biding their time until this is actually a thing.
Yeah.
Because the whole show, at least what I understood, at least in the early seasons, was that it's all these people battling for the throne.
Right.
But it ends up not really mattering because there's a greater threat out there than
Right.
whoever gets the throne. And they completely throw that away in this
Yep.
final season.
Yeah.
Is that all this petty squabbling over who's going to rule Westeros doesn't matter when the Night King comes in and just wrecks everything.
Yeah.
Right.
And they kind of just say that, oh, well, we're just going to kind of say, nah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Cersei's the main villain, or Dany or whatever, and just the Night King is just something to get rid of that sets up a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially saying the Night King didn't get far.
No, he didn't really even do much.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's
didn't
like,
do-
oh, he's the main threat. And then he's
Yeah.
like, well, really, the White Walkers are just something that creates friction between Dany and Jon. Is
Yeah.
really all they're there for in Season 8. And it's
Yeah.
And then
stupid.
before that was just really just about politics stuff, about
Yeah.
how Jon Snow can get power.
Yeah. And I get that the whole show has been about the politics and it should be the
Mhm.
end game. I get that. But the end game should have been what you were setting up. If the
Yeah.
end game was politics, you shouldn't have been building towards the White Walkers.
I
You should have
agree.
been building towards
Yeah.
Cersei or Dany. So it doesn't make any
If,
sense.
if I think one huge way to adjust that is never have the White Walkers
Yeah.
fight, and it would be something that at
Yeah.
the end of the series you do. I'm not saying in a general cliffhanger,
Yeah.
but something along the lines where everything's complete.
And then the walkers hit, like, you see them break the wall or
Right.
something. Like, that ending to Season 7 would have been, I think, a really great ending to the series. Of just like, oh, we find suddenly this person's on the throne, say Jon gets the throne or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, as soon as that happens, the walkers break through or something like that.
Right.
That's your big, we're done thing, like, the real threat is here. kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's...
And then you go on to imagine how it would have ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that would have been a really good ending.
There's always power in leaving it up to the audience's imagination.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be something that's like extremely like cliffhanger-ish. Just like, why would you do that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Why end a series like that? But something that feels complete while also
Yeah.
leaving it to the audience.
So as we're just the ending I'm talking about in season
Yeah.
7 is
Yeah.
one of Dany's dragons. I don't want to say Daenerys. I usually just throw it to Dany.
Yeah.
One of her dragons gets killed by the Night King when they're in the north,
Oh, okay.
and it sinks into this like frozen lake. But one of the other dragons,
The Night King is the leader of the White Walkers.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
and they fly away on one of the other dragons because there's 3 of them,
Okay.
Mhm.
and this one gets killed. And eventually, the ending of it is the Night King using his
White Walkers.
White Walker powers, makes a White Walker, which is basically ice zombie version of this dragon,
Okay.
resurrects it, and uses its like fire breathing to burn down the wall and let the White Walkers through into Westeros. And
Yep.
it's like a, oh, things are getting real now moment when that
Yeah.
happens, and then it ends up being like, nah, it doesn't matter. It's gonna take him a couple weeks to march here.
I've
Yeah.
actually seen people recommend just stopping after season 7.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a proper ending, just
No.
the way it goes, but I get why they say it because of
It's more
Jon and
satisfying
Dany's
in a
arc.
way.
Yeah.
and where they end up in it, and then that cliffhanger.
I think there is a way to re-edit season 7
Mhm.
and 8's footage together into a more satisfying conclusion.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wouldn't be perfect,
Right.
but the thing that is just so disappointing is all of the fan theories for season 8
Yeah.
are all so much more creative and enjoyable than
Yeah.
what we actually got.
Also,
like,
Brand
that's
the
unfortunate.
Broken.
Yeah, they took the most simple way out for
Yeah.
season 8,
Yeah.
and when they could have gone, because seasons 1 through 4, I guess, had amazing writing, and the example I always go back to with the whole subversion of expectations thing, and wanting to do something expected,
Yeah.
randomly killing off a character for shock value is not good writing.
No.
So, like, I go back to the Red Wedding, when Robb Stark and Catelyn Stark and, like, the whole Northern Army get killed.
Yeah.
that was good writing and shocking at the same time, but it fit Rob's character and the way his arc was going, because it was him having to pay the price for the bad mistakes he made along the way.
It's also set up.
It's
really
also
well
been
done.
set up for seasons. This ending turn with Danny was just out of left field, not set up, and it's just shocking just to shock you. There's no setup like Rob got. That was what was frustrating me. That I don't want to say that just like sitting here ripping on the season, because there is some genuinely great stuff, and the cinematography, and you can see the budget on the screen. It looks amazing, and the cast is all great. I don't think there's a bad actor in them. It's just the script took the easy way out.
Yeah.
When there was much better stuff that they could have done.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a problem.
It's not bad, and people saying like, "Oh, it's the worst finale in the history of television."
Oh, I disagree
It's not.
with that. No, it's beautiful. It's a great, meaning like in terms of beautiful, it's just so well shot, so well acted. Well, like the acting is there, the production is there, everything there is there
writing.
except for the writing.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you agree with the decisions the writing made as to whether or not.
Yeah.
Like,
I had one of those moments. I was watching the end of Ruby season 3, and they kill off a character that I think actually, like, the way that they did it was actually, you know, kind of a smart subversion of expectations. But I always in the back of my mind, I always think, would the show be better if this character was still around?
Right.
And my answer is always yes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think they have, like, I think Game of Thrones season 8 kind of has that issue where it's like, it's not really the production's fault that it wasn't what it didn't turn out.
And the crew, I give them credit for looking good. The crew is great. And when you're making a large scale thing as this, a random coffee cup or a water bottle appearing, while it is funny, in the grand scheme of on the biggest scale as they're making it, I can forgive a little issue like that when you're making
I can also feel if like they were like really like paying attention. I can also feel if somebody went back over the original seasons.
Yeah, you could probably find.
You could probably find something.
Yeah.
You could. I can guarantee you will find something.
Yeah.
But
it just
everything has that. Like, there's always stuff like that.
I think the big part of why I got so blown up is it's kind of a symbol of people's thoughts on season 8 in terms of the lack of care put into it.
Oh, there's just a random coffee cup just sitting there.
People just left that there.
Yeah.
It's
a problem.
The coffee cup is, granted, more visible than the water bottle.
Yeah, the water bottle you had to look for. But
Yeah.
the coffee cup is just there on the table.
Yeah.
My biggest issue is just running them down is the fact that Bran, of all people, gets the throne.
Yeah.
Which is like, that shows how much the show thinks itself is great. They're like, oh, no one has a better story than Bran. I'm like, every character on the show has a better storyline than Bran.
That's been the joke the whole entire time, is that Bran is getting nothing to do for a couple of seasons, and especially in the later seasons between, you know, I think he's almost left out one season, isn't he?
Yeah, like season, I think 7, he's barely in.
Yeah, he's barely in it, except for the guy who knows everything, you know?
Was Bran like that kid?
He was a kid, but obviously grown.
The only way it's kind of symbolic is the fact that he started, like, his mistake, it's not really his mistake, he just saw the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Started everything that happened in Westeros.
So basically, he gets pushed out of a tower and it breaks his legs
because
and,
he saw something that he shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I'll keep this safe for work. So.
Yeah. He saw something he shouldn't have, and gets pushed out of a window.
Yeah.
And by him being pushed out of that window, it becomes the catalyst for everything that happens. It
starts the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it starts the battle for power and everything that follows after that.
Interesting. Based on what I know is in the show, I can infer what is what he sees.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to defend Sansa a little bit with the way her ending was. I think that how it was done was a little weird, but I do like how she ended it.
Yeah.
Like, well, I do like how they ended her. Like, I
Queen
feel
of
like
the North. Yeah.
Queen of the North is such a great idea
and she earned
for
it
the
too.
North
Yeah.
because all they wanted was to be independent.
Yeah.
And Sansa if you look at her character arc over the 8 seasons, it fits her.
Yeah.
We see that progression.
Of her learning the Game of Thrones as she's...
Yeah.
Yeah. But my only real issues were Dany's whole turn being based off of Sansa's prettier than me, and Cersei doesn't want to give up throne, and that they killed my black friend, is really her 3 things that sets her off. And that was my other thing that I didn't like, was they used their one black female character as a plot device.
Yeah. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, Cersei's like, hey, go home, and she's like, I don't wanna. Cersei's like, fine, cuts her head off. I was like, okay, thanks. That's great character development.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the
Good
even
writing.
more subtle thing of the fact that her character was a slave and she still dies in chains.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, ugh,
Yeah.
ugh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's wow.
It was
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
bad.
episode 5.
That's
by the
episode
way.
5. That's when you can tell it's like, nah, that's it. We're done.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, and I know we typically keep it, just light on this show, but that's something that has to be addressed in terms of everything with this season. That's the one people were like, yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not do that.
There's a lot of stuff we'll tolerate in Game of Thrones, but this...
Yeah. Well, that also is that's something similar down to that it's just shock.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the stuff, like, I know there's... Okay, this is slightly not safe for work, but I know there's a lot of, like, rape scenes in the later seasons.
Yeah.
And while obviously it's not portrayed as a good thing, it is part of the plot.
Yeah.
And it's not used to further another character's arc.
Yeah.
It's used to partially fuel the character who is in that situation's arc.
Yeah.
This is killing off another character in a brutal way to further another person's arc, which is just kind of
Which
weird.
is pretty bad.
Yeah. But it's that, Tyrion being an idiot for like 3 episodes. Tyrion's always been the smartest guy in the room. I know we gotta move on eventually, but Tyrion's always the smartest guy in the room, and he's not acting like that.
This is Peter Dinklage's character.
Yes.
Yeah.
That, I guess, yeah. I could go on forever.
Yeah,
but,
there's so much that was like...
That went wrong.
Yeah. But
you had us in the first
if you
half.
want a great... he had us in the first
Not gonna lie.
Well, if you want a good ending to the series, that like, if you don't want to lay left on one, I honestly think the finale for season 6 is a pretty good ending.
I agree with that.
It leaves enough to the imagination as to like what could happen of like, oh well, this is where they could go, but leave it. If you want conclusion, you'll get that in season 8, whether or not you like it. If you want a satisfying but also slightly ending on a cliffhanger ending, season 6.
This is
season 6
like,
and 7, really.
This is kind of like saying that the Matrix sequels never happened. It's like...
It's kind of like saying the prequels never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Matrix 4.
Oh yeah, Matrix 4.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So Caleb, what is your topic for this week?
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait, what was I talking about? So recent news has come out that sorry. Recent news came out, I don't know, maybe a week or 2 ago, that Jonah Hex will be joining the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So they're pulling more.
He was in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't remember he was never in a crossover. So.
Yeah, it's just funny how big this crossover is getting that we're going into the obscure characters too.
I wonder how much screen time all of them are going to get. I hope
That's
it's not like
interesting,
we just pop up in the background of a battle.
I suspect because it's probably going to be 4 or 5 episodes long.
It's 5 episodes, possibly.
Is it 5 episodes?
Well, 5 official episodes, I believe.
Maybe
with
6
the Arrow
with an
episodes?
episode somewhere.
Yeah,
rolling around there.
I think. Okay, so this is part of my problem with the crossover and its scheduled dates.
Yeah,
it's like the first half of the crossover will be in December, mid-December.
Yeah,
it's like 11th, 12th, and 13th, and then it's going to take a break and not return till mid-January.
I guarantee they're going to have already shot it at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that
they're trying
pretty
to pull
sure,
some Avengers stuff on us.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Arrow is still going to go on, though, in between him. So that's where I said there may be more episodes there may be more
Yeah.
chunks
More
of
story.
Crisis in the Arrow episodes.
But it's not like the.
So are they doing? Because I know Arrow's 13 episodes. Are they doing the whole thing where like the
It's-
episode before
It's
the
10 episodes.
10 episodes. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And there's worry that there might be actually 9 now.
Oh, okay. So like for example, say
Turns
there
out
is
this
10.
this season of Arrow is just not happening.
I would be so sad.
That would
So
be
is
sad.
it just going to be something of a case of we get episode 9 is the cross episode and then 10 is the finale of Arrow, or
Well, we know for a fact the finale of Arrow is going to be with Crisis.
during the crisis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Well,
these,
based on what
we
they
all-
set up in the last crossover, I
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
why.
It makes almost too much sense that he dies at the end of
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even, well, here's my thing on that is I don't think it's going to happen now because they keep saying he's going to die.
Barry will screw the timeline or something. Will happen.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all gonna get messed up.
Yeah, I am interested to see. I hope they pull this off because Crisis is a big DC story.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
they better not
big.
screw it up.
I wonder. So I have weird ideas about are they gonna Flashpoint everything together so that it's all taking place in the same universe now?
Probably.
Kind of thing where it's like now Supergirl was always part of the Arrowverse.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
I think they're really playing with the multiverse though,
Yeah.
because we're getting Brandon
Brandon
Routh
Routh
as Superman.
as Superman.
Not
but-
from Superman Returns.
Yeah,
from a
it's-
different Superman
It's
story.
what's the Superman?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a
He's playing a different Superman.
it's a different Superman.
It's not
in other
Christopher
words,
Reeve's
but it's a way for them to bring him
right?
back. I see.
And then we're
Yeah.
getting Kevin Conroy
as Batman,
and old
which is
Batman.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then we're getting the original actor for Robin
in the '60s show.
in the
right?
60s
He's still
show.
alive? I
Yeah.
didn't know. I thought he
Adam,
died.
Adam West is still around.
No,
No,
died.
he
Oh,
passed
he died?
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably would have brought him as.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As
Yeah.
Batman.
There's no. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, now I really wish that would have
Yeah.
happened.
And I don't know. There's rumor. There was a rumor like a couple months ago that Mark Hamill might be being the Joker.
Well, isn't he? He's also the trickster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
He's played
So-
the Trickster. He's played two different versions of the Trickster on the same show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I also.
three if you count the original Flash.
Yep.
I can almost guarantee.
And
you,
he's going to be in it too. The original Flash
yeah.
will be back.
Yeah.
John Wesley
Pretty
Shipp
awesome.
has been
Oh yeah, it's
confirmed.
the it's
'Cause that
the
show
Flash,
is canon
It's
with
the
this
Flash from that.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
with the Elseworlds thing, they assembled kind of a Justice League in that universe, and
Yeah.
then they brought it over for the Arrowverse.
And then there's rumors that John Diggle will probably be Green Lantern.
I was just about to say that. I
Crisis.
guarantee that happens.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about that. If they give
Yeah.
David Ramsey his Arrowverse show, like the
Well, he's
this
not
whole
gonna
thing,
get like
this whole thing was a ruse, and and Stephen Amell's leaving, but David Ramsey is staying, and he's going to be playing Green Lantern. That sounds pretty awesome.
There was a photo that was released yesterday of the first episode of Arrow, and it has John Diggle in this like new uniform, and it has green highlights on it. Instead, it looks like his Spartan outfit, but it's got like the green highlights on it.
Okay.
But there's some sort of glare or something on his ring finger,
Oh no!
like a green glare.
Turns out it's just his wedding ring.
Yeah, it turns out it's just his wedding ring, but it's having fans go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've been setting up. They've
Yeah.
basically confirmed, without confirming at this point, that he's playing Jon
Yeah,
Stewart.
well, John
Um,
Stewart
Is
was his dad,
Well,
so
but his first name is John.
yeah,
He's playing John Diggle. Jon Stewart
didn't
would
his-
be his name if he took his stepdad's
Right.
name. Is the
Because didn't they say like, oh, he's John Jr.? They just said he had a different name.
well,
Yeah.
he's
oh, John
well,
Jr.'s
no,
the kid.
Yeah,
Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
John Jr.'s
His
the kid.
his stepfather is Jon Stewart.
Right.
Okay.
Diggle's name is John.
Yeah.
It was always John. It's
Oh, that's
just,
Ernie Hudson's character, right? Was John
Yeah.
Stewart?
Yeah.
I think so.
Uh,
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good. I want them to pull it off. this would also probably be the way where, like, if I don't like where the seasons are going after this crossover, be like, and I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
It's going to be
over.
interesting to see the numbers after post-crisis. Like, I want to
Yeah.
see how many people are still going to be devoted to the Flash.
I'll probably still watch
Uh,
Flash, but all the others I probably...
Yeah, Flash and Arrow were the only ones I was watching for a long time, and now that Arrow's over or will be over, it's gonna be kind of sad to.
I'll still watch Legends too. I like Legends.
Yeah, I've been iffy with the Flash for a couple years now,
Yeah.
but it feels like they're taking a better turn,
Yeah.
and especially from what I'm seeing from season 6 so far,
Yeah.
it looks really good.
Yeah.
I just hope they can execute it to grab me to keep watching this after Crisis.
After Crisis.
Because this might be my end too.
Well, the guy who they got playing the villain in the trailer, I was like, oh, hey, it's that guy. 'Cause
Yeah.
he played Mohinder in the Heroes TV
Yep.
show
Okay.
on NBC. So I was like, oh, wait, it's Mohinder. I hadn't seen him in forever.
It's yeah. I mean, I think the part of the thing with the Crisis on Infinite Earths and the Arrowverse in general, part of what's happened is that like they used all of their best material up front.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, season 5 of Arrow was awesome because they sort of brought it back to its roots.
Right.
And the ending of season 5 of Flash, I would argue, is equally as good just
Right.
because they brought it back to the Flash and Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Um,
And the Reverse Flash pulling off
a hijinks you wouldn't have ever... You would never expect anybody to ever pull off.
yeah, and the fact that he took something from Barry again
Yeah.
that actually hasn't happened yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you really think about it, it's like it's heartbreaking if you think about it in that
Yeah.
way, and it's just it furthers the dynamic of their rivalry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. The absolute sort of consequences of season 5, I think we haven't
yeah,
fully come up against.
I love how they were like, they set the seeds of doing Crisis like in 2014, but they're like,
Oh, yeah.
now we don't want to wait another 10 years. Let's just unbury
Right.
and screw it and bring it to
Yeah.
now.
the
We're only 5 years off, actually.
Yeah.
At this point.
2024.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The Flash started, and it was like 2024 was like this far off thing you
Yeah.
could never imagine, and now we're 5 years away from it.
Well, I think they originally probably were like that, but then they're like, oh, Arrow's ending. And they're like, yeah, well, let's just bring it forward so we can
Right.
go with Arrow.
Make it happen.
The season though with the Flash, it's going to be put into 3 parts.
Oh yeah.
So they're doing an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season 4 type thing with the 3 parts. So
It's
it's
like
gonna
different
have,
stories.
Yeah, different stories.
Finally, I've been telling
That's
them to do
actually
this
pretty cool.
forever.
yeah,
Yeah, because I hate when they drag
that's
this thing
actually
out.
pretty cool.
there's obviously there's the Heroes guy. Godspeed shows up in the first episode. We don't know where we're going with that.
Godspeed.
So
You
I'm
never heard of
I'm
Godspeed?
thinking
I know who Godspeed is. He was in season 5.
In
Right.
the future.
Yeah, he was like a future Godspeed.
So I'm hoping that's the second arc or
Yeah.
third. And I don't know what we're doing with the
I
third
want
one.
I
but-
want I want like a non-Speed Force speedster.
yeah.
In the Flash. That's what I want. Like somebody that Barry can't understand because he doesn't use the Speed Force.
Yeah.
That's what I want, and I want the Godspeed to be that.
I want Godspeed to be that. Do it, DC, make it happen.
That's what Zoom should have been, because originally Zoom is
Stealing.
like what
Yeah.
his whole thing is that he doesn't go fast. He slows down time.
Oh,
I think
see
that's
what you're
how I think
saying.
that's how like the original inception of Zoom was. So that's kind of a natural counter to Barry.
Mhm.
I'd love to see somebody else do that because I think playing with sort of speed versus time is really interesting, especially if you can't full on stop time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's a lot of these moments because there's been so many seasons and so many episodes where like, oh, this character's back, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have to like look them up on the Flash wiki to remember who they
Right.
are. Like, it's been so long, I don't remember who this is.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
like
man.
references, I'm like, wait, what? Like, I just don't get the
Right.
reference because it's been so long.
It's so, you know what's incredibly strange is that we may very well get to a point where the Flash is like goes on longer than Arrow does,
It very well could.
which is
It could.
pretty wild because Flash was always like the baby,
Yeah.
and
It was
now
like
it's
the
like,
spin-off, and
and
now,
now it's like a senior, and
It depends on
it's
how
so
well
weird.
season 6 does.
Yeah.
Because the
'Cause if
CW
season
did
6
it.
doesn't do well, then we'll get a season 7 and then a 10-episode arc, and then
Yeah.
it's done.
Well, yeah, because they, from my understanding with Arrow, they had a 7-season contract.
Is that right?
So if the Flash had the same type of contract, you know,
Yeah.
season 6 doesn't do well. Very well could season 7 very well could be our final season.
Yeah. I think Legends, if it has a 7th season, will be done with 7. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's not. It
Yeah.
doesn't have the same ratings as the others. It'll be
Yeah.
done after 7.
That's a spin-off right there. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
But it's interesting that like there's not very many shows where the spin-off supersedes the original show in terms of
Yeah.
popularity, and this is, I think Flash
And the
is-
Flash, I think, succeeded in doing that.
I think Grant Gustin wants to be in the role.
Yeah.
For
I-
further
yeah,
than just next year.
I could
so-
see him wanting to do this for as long as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
They should put him in the movies. He's good. Just give him a
Yeah.
better costume in the movies because it'd be more expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The chin
Yeah.
strap is kind of getting to me.
Just do a
Wait,
Flashpoint thing
You-
and have him replace
are
Ezra
you-
Miller.
Pro chin strap or no chin strap?
It depends on the costume. I don't
Okay.
like this chin. I like the original costume a lot,
Yeah.
and even like the season 2.
Did you see
Costume,
this newest
I like.
costume though?
The newest costume, I'm kind of iffy on.
Yeah.
I don't like how it looks, kind of like skin tight.
That was
I
my
like a
problem
little bit of a bulkier Flash.
Yeah.
Not that bulky, but just a little bulkier.
I liked the Justice League costume where it looked like
Yeah.
it was aerodynamic and like it had been made
Yeah.
scientifically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked that one. Yeah.
Well, it looks a lot like last year's costume, but the earpieces are different,
Oh, okay.
and he's got the chin strap back,
yeah.
which is
The
why I asked.
the lack of chin strap in season 5 is kind of jarring. I'll say that.
Well, yeah, they did it for Stephen Amell, but
yeah.
Which would be my-
Now I'm remembering Stephen Amell in the Flash costume, and it's so funny.
it's a cursed image.
It's
a
so
cursed-
hilarious. Like in every scene that he's wearing it in, he looks like he's out of place.
Yeah.
He literally like Grant Gustin actually looks pretty good in the Arrow costume,
Mhm.
but Stephen Amell, I think at some point they were like, you know what, this is so funny, we're gonna make you do it.
I wouldn't mind like an alternate universe where they put like Alex in the Supergirl outfit just to see she'd be like it was so out of place because she's always like I'm the tough one, so it'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool to see.
it'd be funny.
Where she's like in the like spandex and
Yeah.
skirt. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess,
so,
I'm looking forward to it. We'll check it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earths. So Avengers level TV crossover.
No,
Yeah.
this is an Adventures level 3.
Yeah. We find at the end you see Sam Jackson and it's Nick Fury.
Yeah.
It'd be so good.
Using whatever. Oh no, they can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was gonna say whatever. Yeah, I was gonna do a Far From Home tie-in, but
Yeah, can't do
sore subjects right now.
Sore Yeah.
Sore subject.
Does that mean that the end credit scenes are now void?
I don't know how they're gonna
Wait.
do things.
Oh, that's a whole other
there's
conversation.
We're almost certainly getting another Spider-Man movie.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I wasn't talking. I was talking about the Nick
Yeah.
We're
Fury
talking
being
about
a
how does
scroll.
Marvel address.
Well, no, probably. Yeah. Anyways,
that's the whole.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it another time. So briefly, my topic this week is going to be a little-known studio called Innie Creates. If you don't know who they are and you like 2D action games, look them up. They made the Mega Man Zero and ZX games on the Game Boy Advanced and DS. And then they assisted on Mighty Number 9, but I don't think they were actually like a part of it.
They were like the main devs.
Yeah. I don't know. And I think they do some other stuff too, but like recently their main thing has been, I think I talked about it on the Catacast at some point, but
The old days.
The Azure Striker Gunvolt games are really awesome. I've thoroughly enjoyed every second of playing those games, and if you played like Mega Man Zero or ZX, you'll actually find that they're stylistically very similar in terms of like the way you control and the different mechanics, like you can wall jump on the same wall and stuff like that, which has been a part of Mega Man games since Mega Man X. But yeah, they're coming out with a new game on the 26th, which we'll talk about, called Luminous Avenger X or IX. I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be X. But Luminous Avenger X, which is, I don't know if it's a prequel or not, but it's starring another character who was in Azure Strike. He's actually been in all of them, but you were able to play as him in Gunvolt 2. It was like a two halves, kind of two storylines kind of thing. Which that game is terrific. So they're coming out with his sort of solo game, and he's actually my preferred character between him and Gunvolt, the main character of the series. So I'm actually really excited for it. And yeah, I mean, I think Innie Creates is just a really talented sort of 2D action developer, and they've been sort of devoting their time to making Switch games, and to see them sort of succeed at doing that and still be able to keep making games, and the fact that we basically know at this point that we're getting Gunvolt 3, which is really exciting. We don't know when that's going to happen, but it's going to happen. I think that because I played the first game on 3DS actually, and then I bought the Switch collection. And yeah, I would anybody who has a Switch, I would highly recommend. They're also on PC. The Gunvolt games are on PC too. I would highly recommend playing them. They're the story is a little. It's basically anime X-Men.
Interesting.
But without the school is sort of effectively what it is. So it's about I guess the best way to describe it is like it's anime X-Men with a Mega Man plot. So like you have the main character, and then you have the and then you have like all of the bad guys, and I don't know if there are more people with superpowers beyond those people or not, but if there are, then it actually really is kind of just a transplant of the X-Men sort of like it really, like they do talk a lot about like the morality of powers, and like are these superpowered people good people, or like that
Should
just
there
on the
even be
merit
powers?
on the merit of them having powers, are they good people, like that kind of thing. So it's a little bit sort of on the nose, but it's I really enjoyed it. 2 I thought was excellent in terms of the way that it handled the kind of, because you're playing on sort of one side of the argument, and then you're playing on the other side, because the Copen, who's the star of Luminous Avenger, he is like, he has disdain for people with powers. I think because someone with powers like killed his dad or something. I don't remember what it was, but and Gunvolt has powers, so it's like, and those two are rivals basically, and they the final boss is in Gunvolt 2 is terrific. Like the way that they handle that for the two stories is really awesome. So yeah.
Cool.
With that, let's move on to our big topic this week. So we're going to go through starting from the most recent, sort of biggest release. We're going to go through the... Of video games, yeah. We're going to go through the rest of the year in terms of releases.
We're basically doing what we did last week, but
Yeah.
instead of movies, it's games.
Yes.
Okay.
We're taking the
Which is a lot
opportunity...
more.
We're
Yeah.
taking the opportunity because Ahmad's not here. We're going to take the opportunity
Yeah.
to do the games.
Do you guys want me to skip mobile-only games?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, starting with September, our most recent game is Gears 5.
All right.
So
Gears 5.
Now that one, technically, I'm still counting this in here as ones to come out because it only came out 3 days ago. It's
Yeah.
recent. We can talk about
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm really excited to play this game. I haven't played Gears 4. I need to do that first. I enjoyed my time with the first 3.
Okay.
I played a little bit of the Gears games, but I've never had an Xbox,
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah, I've
it's
never
been
played
hard
a
for me
Gears
to
game.
play that exclusive. Between that and Halo, it's like those are the only two Xbox
Yeah.
exclusives that
If
I
you're gonna pick
desire.
one, Halo is the one you go with. Like if you have to pick between the two, you go
Right.
with Halo. But Gears is one of those games where it's a lot of fun. They're very designed for co-op, and they're so overtly like tough guy masculine dude.
Right,
Like that it's kind of like eye rolling, but they understand that.
Which is an image they seem to be trying to buck at this
well,
point.
because it's
right?
the new one has a female character for the lead.
Yeah.
Oh,
For the campaign at least.
interesting.
And she was a side character in 4. She's the main
okay.
character in 5.
I thought, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it a huge time gap between Gears 3 and Gears 4?
It was like 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
It's also a new developer because Epic Games
Right.
did the first 3 in Judgment, and then now a new
Oh, that's
studio,
right.
the Coalition, does 4 and 5.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. It looks
Yeah.
fun. The graphics look great. The campaign looks like it's the biggest one yet in terms of scale.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
then-
coming after playing 3. I'm like, how do you go bigger than 3? But
Yeah.
we'll see.
And then, don't forget Dave Bautista.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Sarah
I
Connor
didn't know
and the
that.
Terminator are in it too.
Yeah.
In the multiplayer, at least.
Yeah, you can play as Dave
Really?
Bautista in the multiplayer.
Oh,
Which is pretty
okay.
crazy. Yeah.
But I'm also looking forward to a complete side note, but we haven't gotten a release date for Gears Tactics yet, and I really want to play Gears Tactics. It's basically Halo
Yeah.
Wars, but for Gears
Oh, okay.
and it's on PC.
Which is pretty cool.
Okay, so then we got September 13th. So today, as we are recording, Borderlands 3 has come out.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I want to play it.
Never played the first two.
Yeah, I
I
have
love the art style.
The Handsome Collection
Yeah, the
was
art
on,
style is pretty unique.
yeah, the Handsome Collection was on PS Plus a little while ago, so I
Mhm.
have it. I will get around to playing it at some point.
And the first one, they did a Game of the Year edition of the first one, so it's on PS4 now too.
Doesn't the Handsome Collection come with the first
It
one?
comes with 2 in the pre-sequel and
Oh.
all of their DLC, but it doesn't include the first.
Does the first one...
I mean, there's really
Do I have to
you don't
play the first
you don't
one?
need to. I mean, most people start with 2, but like if
Okay.
you wanted to, the first.
Okay.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the art style. I played it at some point. Again, really designed for co-op. but-
Speaking of the art style, it's funny. Did you guys see like a month ago? There was a Borderlands crossover with Fortnite,
Oh,
and literally,
really?
yeah, you went into the.
Ugh.
Okay, so I haven't played. Granted, so I haven't played in like a couple months now, so I can't even tell you. I've just seen footage. I can't even tell you if this is exactly in the game or even if it's still in the game.
Yeah.
But they when you got in there, the whole art style would change to a Borderlands art style.
That's actually
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool looking at it,
Yeah.
but also the way the game mechanics worked with just
yeah.
Fortnite, it just didn't
Yeah.
fit.
I mean, like, I'm not a Fortnite fan, but I do think the different like events they're having is pretty cool. With
Yeah.
putting
Yeah.
Thanos in there, or
Thanos,
Yeah, that
the
was
Avengers
fun.
stuff,
Both times they were extremely fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only problem with those is that they're limited time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I ever decided to start Fortnite, I wouldn't be able to go back and get those Avengers
Yeah.
costumes
Yeah.
and things like
Especially both times they were different.
that. Yeah.
Different game mode.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's move
We
on.
got Daemon X Machina for Switch.
That actually
came out today.
I hear
I've
it's
never
I
heard
hear
of it.
it's actually not that great, but it actually looks pretty cool. It's a mech battle game.
Oh,
Today, NASCAR Heat 4 came out. I'm sure Taylor's excited
Oh
for
yeah,
it. You remember Taylor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Taylor's pretty excited about that
Yeah.
one.
That'll be. I'm sure it'll be good. It's kind of NASCAR Heat has kind of become the NASCAR version of Madden NFL, where it's just like
Oh, yeah,
yearly
yeah.
release of the same
I
game.
tell you,
but-
I used to own a NASCAR game a couple years ago.
Is that right?
One of my biggest fun things I would do is I just turn around the car
just try to
and try to go the other way and wreck
That's
my
funny.
wreck my brother who was also playing.
You know what's funny about that is like most racing games nowadays don't let you do
Yeah,
that.
they don't let you do that. It's the first thing I do when I get a racing game. I make sure
Just
if I
turn
can do it
around.
in a.
Okay, Ready Player One. But yeah, I think I'm sure it'll be good. There's been a ton of NASCAR games. Like if you look at the list,
Yeah.
there's ridiculous
There-
amounts.
yeah,
of
there's
them.
Yeah.
a lot of
But
NASCAR
this
stuff.
new like Heat series has kind of become their like NBA 2K. Or
Yeah.
something
Right.
like that.
Speaking of,
NHL 20, and that's part of that EA Sports line. It's EA, right? It's part of
Yeah, it's EA. Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
I
The
don't
one that doesn't get
Interesting.
any press because it's hockey.
Yes, the one
Yeah.
that doesn't really do well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Except
they
in
still
Canada.
make it.
yeah.
Well, you got a few people who really like hockey.
Now, I
Like
don't know
these
if this is
That's
AI
just my
or-
Hockey Canada joke.
Yeah. This next one is called AI: The Somnium Files for PS4, Switch, and PC. Comes out on the 17th.
That sounds like a visual novel.
Yeah, it probably is. Also on the 17th, we have Groundhog Day, Like Father, Like Son for PlayStation VR, Oculus
What?
Rift, and HTC Vive. It's a Groundhog Day VR game.
I
Somehow-
have
never
to
heard of
pick up
this,
a VR system just to play this game.
Just Groundhog Day.
Like for somehow I realized I thought like I've heard of this before. Like I think I saw a PS4 like PSVR trailer for it at some point.
That's insane. Is Bill Murray in it?
I can almost guarantee you he's not. I don't think he cares.
What if he is?
Yeah.
And nobody knew about it.
Yeah, I've.
Man, that'd be wild.
Comes out
Anyway,
in like a week. So yeah.
okay.
Overland for PC and Mac. I don't know what it is.
Never heard of it.
that is.
Sayonara Wild Hearts. Stop me if there's one you want to talk about. I'll just
Yeah,
list
okay.
them all off. Nino Kuni Wrath of the White Witch remastered.
Famously beautiful. Studio Ghibli worked on it. I played a little bit of the PS3 version, but not that much. And it was fun, but yeah.
Then we have Reign of the Reflections on PC on September 20th.
Okay.
Oh, and then Nino Kuni was PS4, Switch, and PC. I'm gonna list the platforms.
Oh, is it coming out on all of the platforms?
No, not Xbox.
Yeah, because Japan doesn't like
Yeah.
Xbox.
Yeah. And I will list off now the platforms in case anybody at home
Yeah,
wants to play any of these games and they have a platform. The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for Switch comes out on the 20th.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, looks pretty good. I like the
I didn't
chibi
even-
art style.
Yeah, the art style is cool. Change helps in a Zelda game. Don't know what's going on with that.
I didn't even know that was coming out in September.
Yeah,
We got The Sojourn on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, also going back to the Zelda thing, it's really cool to have the Zelda game to tie us over between the two new like main games.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have like a buffer game.
Yeah.
What used to be the games they would just put out straight to 3DS or DS is now
Yeah.
become-
Now it's on Switch. Yeah, which is
Uh,
pretty cool.
What?
Would,
Oh, okay. I thought you said is it a prequel? I was like, no, it's not a
oh
prequel.
no, I said which is pretty cool.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what.
Alright. Untitled Goose Game on PC on
Still
September
Untitled?
20th.
What?
I don't know. It just says Untitled.
Is that another like bird dating sim?
Probably. That's a mobile game. Oh, I'm just gonna list this mobile one because it goes to what we talked about. Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall comes out on iOS and Android.
The
There's
fact that
another
this
Game
is
of
the
Thrones
only
game?
the fact that this is the only Game of Thrones game seems just like sheer incompetence.
No,
on
there's another
HBO's.
There's
Mobile game.
There's another
Yeah.
game, and there's a really bad browser game too.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's what I mean. Is like the fact that they're all like mobile and browser games
Right.
sounds like sheer
There is
incompetence.
a Telltale series. Game.
Yeah. I hear
Oh,
it's the
that's
worst
right.
one though.
It is.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I didn't
I heard
play
Guardians
it.
of the Galaxy was the bad one.
Oh, you know what? I think when I heard this, it was before Guardians of the Galaxy came out. So
okay. Yeah, there's that one, and then they also made I think there's a Game of Thrones game that's like a combat game, but I could be
Huh.
wrong. But none of them were really
Weird.
great.
Yeah.
Also, it's the only game on this list that comes out on my birthday. It's a mobile game. On September 23rd.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Cat Quest 2 for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
That is almost certainly a visual novel.
Contra Rogue Core on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
The Return of Contra.
The Surge 2 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Never played a Surge game.
Looks cool. They're basically sci-fi Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
They're pretty cool. I haven't played them because I don't like the difficult Dark Souls like gameplay.
Right, yeah.
But it's sci-fi Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Mario Kart. Never mind. That's a
Well,
game.
that's
the Mario Kart.
Mario Kart
mobile game.
Tour. Yeah.
I do want to talk about that, even though
Okay.
it's a mobile
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
What's you guys' thoughts? You guys want to download
I
it?
actually haven't seen really any footage of this game,
It's gonna just be Mario Kart DS, but on the phone.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
which is not exactly appealing, especially because I'm gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
gonna
I
be
was-
so many microtransactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and shout them out real quick. Look up Inside Gaming. They're a YouTube channel. They did a really cool report on this game and Nintendo's
okay.
mobile games as a whole. I don't know the exact title, but it's on Inside Gaming, and you should check them out there. It's the source I go to for most of my video game news is them. So.
Neat.
Code Vein on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I played the demo of that, and it's fine. The combat's a little clunky. It's sort of supposed to be kind of a mid-range between it. It looks like it's sort of taking that Dark Souls tradition, but anime-ifying it. So
And we
if you
got
like that, go ahead.
Dragon Quest XI S on Switch.
People are really excited for this one. I played a little bit of the original version of Dragon Quest XI and wasn't too enthralled, but whatever.
And then I don't think I have much to say about this, but on the 27th, on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, we also have FIFA 20.
FIFA.
More controversy.
Yeah, I can not wait to hear the controversy for that. Yeah, that's it for September. Overall,
That's actually a
September,
pretty good month.
Pretty
Not as
solid.
good as August, but
not as good
pretty
as August, but it is not as good as October either,
Yeah,
or November.
October, and November were really stacked. So
Yeah.
September really didn't have a chance.
But it's got some good things in
Yeah.
there. It's got Gears 5.
It's
and-
fitting for us being in college.
It is
Yeah.
missing.
Basically.
I think it is missing a few releases because I think Luminous Avenger X is still slated to come out.
It might be missing a couple of Japanese ones.
Yeah.
but I'm listing this off based on Game Informer's list,
Yeah,
but yeah.
and we all know Game Informer.
October,
In case, October.
we have Destiny 2 Shadowkeep on PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC.
Well, that's a lot of.
I thought that came out in September.
They delayed it.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what happened?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's going to be free to play anyway.
Yeah, it's looking. This is actually looking pretty cool, but I'm never. I'm always one to judge after I play a Destiny expansion rather than before.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to play Destiny, but I always refuse to play for online. So I'm always
yeah.
I'm not going to. But the gameplay always looks good, and I love Bungie's work on Halo. So maybe.
So, yeah, and I would say if you're going for anything other than the gameplay loop, I would.
Yeah, it's not much of a story.
Yeah, there's not some of the later stuff is kind of cool, but yeah.
Okay, then we
Anyways.
got Ghost Recon Breakpoint for PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It looks pretty cool. I mean, they got John Bernthal as the
Yeah,
villain.
that's right. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, this is another one of those Ubisoft games where we swear it's not political, but when you look at the game, it very clearly is.
Oh yeah.
It looks like it should be fun. I like
Yeah.
the Tom Clancy games, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Neat.
Concrete Genie for PSVR and PlayStation 4.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Indivisible for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Is that the indie game that's just been gonna come out forever? Yeah, it is. I've seen that the demo for that on the PS Store for a million years at this point, and I always thought it had been out for a long time. But no, it's not. But no, now they're finally releasing it. That's pretty crazy.
And we got Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
Okay.
Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair for PS4,
Oh
Xbox
right, I
One,
forgot
Switch,
they were
and
making a
PC.
sequel to that.
Yeah.
Is this it is a sequel, right?
I would assume so.
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't.
Ukulele was pretty hyped up, and then nobody liked it.
Oh.
Well, it was very much in the style like your classic like Rare like
Yeah,
Banjo-Kazooie
it was
type games.
it was like the story was that like a bunch of people who had worked on Banjo-Kazooie got together to make ukulele, and it did do very well.
Doraemon's Story of Seasons for Switch and PC.
My sister will probably be excited about that.
Grid for PS4, Xbox One, Stadia, and PC.
That's
the
the,
racing game, right?
Is it a racing game or is it like a shooter?
Well, there was. I don't know. These all have such. No, it's a racing game.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Grid.
I mean, all racing. Nice. Ahmad's gonna be proud when he hears that.
Yes.
We got, let's see, Killer Queen Black for Switch and PC. The cover art looked cool. I think.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
I'll
Never
probably-
played a Killer Queen game, but
I didn't know there was more than one. Children of Morta for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC.
I had no idea what that is.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition for Switch. Yeah. Side note, how do they get this game fitting on the Switch?
By downgrading the graphics pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Have you watched a trailer for The Witcher
I've
3
seen
on
it.
Switch?
It
does not look very good.
No, it does not look anything like the others. But it's still an achievement that they even
It
got
is.
it running on the Switch.
Yeah,
Right.
It is pretty crazy.
Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes Complete Edition for PS4 and PC.
Oh, this is the one that nobody liked, right?
Well, this was the one that's like, it's meant to be like a buffer to gauge interest to see if they should make No More Heroes 3.
Oh, okay.
And it was originally a Switch exclusive, but now they're making a complete version for PS4 and PC.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because I think they had originally, the first one had a complete edition on PS3, but the second one never. So the second
Okay.
one's the only one to never make it to PlayStation.
Interesting.
Lovecraft Tales, The Whisperer in the Darkness for PC.
Okay.
Ring Fit Adventure for Switch. That's that weird like Wii Fit style thing they just announced.
Oh.
Like,
Oh
did
yeah,
you guys see that?
yeah. I did.
No.
I didn't watch
Yeah.
the trailer, but I know what you're talking about.
Nintendo basically announced it was this new. It's specifically just like a plastic exercise ring. You put your Joy-Cons into it, and you can it can gauge if you press it or squeeze it or whatever.
Really?
And it's like it's kind of like a Wii Fit type thing to do exercise. It's called the Ring Fit.
Which, don't really care, but whatever.
So like,
Right.
what can we call the Wii Fit even though it's no longer a Wii? What
Ring
does it look
Fit.
like? It's a Ring Fit. We got The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, Ill. Or no, that's not Ill, it's 3. Cold Steel,
I was
Ill.
kind of confused. I was like, wait, this is supposed to be 3. Yeah, I mean, I played the first 2 over the summer, and it's, the graphics look a little better because it's on PS4 and not made for PS3.
Apparently I can't read because I thought that said Trials of Cold Steel. And it's like, wait, it's Trails. I can't read.
Yeah. And, if you like The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2, then maybe pick up 3. I don't know.
Now we've got a couple big ones left in this list here. We got WWE 2K20 for, I'm assuming, pretty much everything.
More controversy.
Call of Duty.
Just because there will. It's an EA game.
Yeah.
Oh, now I get what
Wait.
your
Is
joke
it EA or is it 2K?
It would be.
I think it's 2K.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
then maybe
Still controversy.
maybe not, but there might still be controversy.
After 2K20, I guarantee you, after NBA 2K20 there will be.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare for PS4, Xbox
More
One.
controversy.
So excited.
Yeah, that game
Hopefully.
looks amazing.
I'm hoping. I'm holding.
Come on, Activision, give me a good Call of Duty game. I need one. A good Call of Duty campaign because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They're actually doing a campaign.
Yeah.
Black Ops 4 didn't have one. The one for Infinite Warfare was garbage.
World War II's was weird.
I'm sure it was.
Advanced Warfare had Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I think the last one I played the campaign of was probably Advanced Warfare, and that was like 2015.
And that
That's
was an
kinda
okay
crazy.
campaign. I just feel like Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare were literally the same campaigns almost.
Pretty
it felt
much.
like
Yeah.
it felt like that. Not necessarily that it was. It's just
Also, this is mainly just a thing for Ezra, but the campaign of Advanced Warfare is very similar in terms of tone and plot to Metal Gear Rising. In terms of like
Okay.
PMCs and stuff like that.
That's funny. That's
But
actually really funny.
The fact that this is a reboot.
It's a reboot?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I
a-
thought it was like, okay, yeah. Part of me thought for some reason it was continuing on from 3.
No, I thought it was at first 2. But they're doing it a full-on reboot. They're keeping Captain Price.
Obviously.
I think it's a different voice actor.
Well,
now.
isn't Soap on the cover?
Soap could be on the cover.
Oh.
But Soap died after 3.
Yeah, so it's gotta be a reboot. No.
So, yeah.
Turns out he was alive the whole time.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty, I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
would be surprised,
Yeah.
especially the way Modern Warfare 3 went. But
Medieval for PS4 on October 25th.
Is that the... What is that? That's
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard of it.
That's like the one where it's like the skull and cross. It's like Sir Daniel Fortescue. He's basically like a skeleton, but he's also a knight or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know much about it. I know it's like an old PS1 game and they're rebooting it for PS4.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
That
Yeah,
makes
that's what it was.
Also, jumping back to Modern Warfare for a second, expect controversy on this game because
Oh, yeah.
I've heard they're
so-
going to do something similar to No Russian in this game. It's also meant to be really realistic of like a war game.
Yeah.
Because
no,
There's already been-
Russian.
No Russian was that mission in Modern Warfare 2 where you in the airport.
Oh, so they're redoing it?
Well, not necessarily redoing that, but in terms of like those, going to be on the news, controversial moment type thing.
Yeah.
It's going to
Oh.
It's, no, there's already controversy surrounding, like, kill streaks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's kind of...
It's gonna be interesting, because based on the way the campaign's going, it's seeming like it's gonna be very serious and modern. But
Yeah.
the gameplay for the multiplayer is probably gonna still be your standard Call of Duty
Yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's that way. Like,
yeah.
when they do more with the multiplayer is when I hate it the most. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
That is a problem that Call of Duty has had, is that they don't want to experiment too much, but they don't want to,
Right.
like, but they don't want to keep drawing controversy.
Yeah. I'm interested, especially since, like, I hope though it's not just a remake. Like, they take elements from the original games,
Mhm.
but they kind of remix it. Because you can already see in the trailer they're doing the whole nuke thing that they did in the first one.
yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see. I love how ridiculous these games are. They're pretty much just straight up the same thing as a Michael Bay movie. They're always
Okay.
just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
The Outer Worlds, that looks pretty great. It's Obsidian's last
Yeah.
game that's going to be not an Xbox exclusive now that Xbox owns, or Microsoft owns, Obsidian.
Okay.
It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on October 25th.
Neat.
I know my brother's really excited for it.
Yeah, it looks great. I'll probably check it out at some point.
You know, it's interesting. I really don't know much about this game.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it's from the people that did the
Fallout.
certain Fallout
Yeah.
games, New Vegas, and
They did New Vegas. I don't remember if they did any of the others.
I think they did 3, but I could be wrong.
All I know from seeing the trailers is it looks like a cross between like Destiny and Fallout,
Yeah.
but like a little bit more lighthearted.
I'm also getting a little bit of Borderlands vibes.
Oh yeah, there's a
from
bit of
it,
Borderlands
too.
in there.
Yeah. My problem with the Outer Worlds is that I feel like I see so many games that look exactly
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
that it's like it lost my interest with the first trailer.
Yep.
I was like, I'm not.
That's why until I started hearing good buzz, I just completely forgot about it because I'm like, okay, what makes this one different than all of
Right,
the
yeah.
others? Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
it's in space and it's kind of wacky. Wow, I haven't seen that game before. Like,
So it became full circle because everybody was like around like 2009, 2010 was like, I'm so tired of gritty World War II shooters. I
Yeah.
want something that's a little bit more light and fun. And now everything is light and fun. People are like, give me a gritty game.
Yeah.
And now Modern Warfare is going to probably switch that back over.
oh yeah,
'Cause
almost certainly.
How many? Okay, we had Rage 2, we had Far Cry New Dawn or whatever it was called, Outer Worlds, Borderlands 3. How many other wacky, quirky, colorful games have we had this year
Yeah,
alone?
seriously.
Yeah.
And those are only the AAA ones.
Yeah. Harvest Moon Mad Dash comes out on PS4 and Switch on the 29th.
My sister will be excited about that one too.
Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD for PS4. Xbox
Now,
One,
the
Switch, and
return
PC.
of Monkey Ball is more exciting than this game. That's talk to Cameron in the Film Lab if you want to know his thoughts on Monkey Ball.
Monkey Ball is one of the series where I played like one mission on the Wii in like 2005 7. And they're like, this is pretty cool. And then never touched it again.
I played a lot of the GameCube Monkey Ball, and that game is awesome. And so if this game is like half as awesome, then it's worth your time.
So on October 31st, the day of Spooktober itself, we have Luigi's Mansion 3 and Moons of Madness. Spooky.
Luigi's Mansion 3 actually looks pretty cool. Never played the other two. And Moons of Madness, I have no idea what that is.
It comes out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and then Switch owners get Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
I mean, I might get Luigi's Mansion 3 simply because of Gooigi. That's enough.
Luigi. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I need to I can't wait for all the meme pages and to get a hold of Gooigi because you know it's gonna get.
It's already happening.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, so that's October.
October's pretty stacked, I have to say. That's a pretty good month for games.
Call of Duty, Witcher. I guess Witcher 3's already out, but like it coming to Switch.
Not a
Ghost
lot.
Recon, Destiny DLC.
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion.
Not a lot of stuff I want to play, but pretty good.
I mean, since I'll probably end up getting Travis Strikes Again on Switch, and I already have Witcher 3, I'll likely end up probably just getting Modern Warfare and maybe Outer Worlds. Oh, and then Ghost Recon at some point.
Yeah, good month.
Now, this next month, November, is stacked.
Oh, yeah, tons of stuff coming out in November.
And we got Just Dance 2020. Now, let's
man,
get a platform.
totally excited.
Now, this is actually kind of notable.
Yes.
You know why?
Because it's coming out to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, Stadia, and Nintendo Wii. It is the last game coming out on the Wii,
which is really impressive.
Yeah.
I heard the story of why they actually kept releasing it on Wii.
Because we kept buying it.
Well, but it was because of rehab centers.
Oh.
We're using Just Dance for rehab, and they just had their Wiis. So now they're gonna have to buy Switches.
Yeah. Well, granted, Ubisoft supported it for as long as they could.
Yeah.
Like they
Right.
I think it also is really funny that the Wii got its last game after the Wii U did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. That's sad for the Wii.
That's sad. Yeah.
Well, then again, like some consoles have legs because the PlayStation 2 didn't have its last game until like a month before the PS4 came out.
It may have even had it after the PS4.
It might have because it was like PES 2014.
Yeah,
it was Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
It's crazy.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020.
This one actually looks pretty cool. I have to say, like they've got some cool events going on, and they have the 2D stuff, which is pretty cool.
As long as there are Olympic Games, there will be Mario and Sonic at those Olympic Games. It is now an official UN decree. There must be a Mario and Sonic.
It is a tradition. I think in one of the trailers they said like, as is tradition at this point. Like they're like, yeah, we're just doing this because we can. Yeah.
Then we got
it looks pretty cool though.
Planet Zoo for PC.
I don't know what this game is. I probably can infer just based on the name.
Yeah, me too.
We kind of already talked about this, but Death Stranding comes out for exclusive to PlayStation 4 on the 8th. That'll be pretty much, I would say it'd be a day one purchase for me, but I don't have my PS4 here at college. I only have my Xbox. So, Thanksgiving break will be when I buy it. And
that's going to be like your Thanksgiving game. Like, I don't want to thank anybody right now.
I'm thanking Kojima right now.
With my money, I am thanking
him. I was thanking Spider-Man last year.
Oh, me too. Spider-Man was my Thanksgiving game. Yeah. And then the DLC was my Christmas
I had that game for so long. I bought it day one.
You're just like, I gotta play this.
Yeah. But I didn't want to play it.
Didn't it come out in September?
Yeah. I didn't want to play it with distraction. You know what I mean? I wanted to play it full on. So, like, guess what?
Gotta
Thanksgiving was the first time I had that.
Yeah.
Now, Disney Tsum Tsum Festival for Switch. Oh, I didn't even talk about Death Stranding again. Okay, Death Stranding, a big raid. Can't wait to buy it. Already talked about it.
Yeah.
Disney Tsum Tsum Festival for Switch on the 8th.
Go Tsum Tsum. Wait, what?
The Tsum Tsum TSUM. It's like this. I've been to Disney a lot, and it's like these like chibi Japanese type.
Yeah, it's like a match 3 thing, right?
I think the game is, but like the Tsum Tsum are actually like plush toys you can buy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
cool.
They're like one new Disney brand thing. It's big, it's bigger in Japan than it is here.
Fun.
Layton's Mystery Journey Catriel and the Millionaire's Conspiracy Deluxe Edition for the Switch. That's a mouthful of a
That
title.
is.
Yeah,
Professor
you
Layton
could
fans
just
will
see
be
it.
happy about that, I guess.
You could see it go across the whole entire screen.
It's like just-
That's really funny.
It's the only one on here where the date had to be below the title. There were so many words. Need for Speed Heat for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Man, these racing games are just heat.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it has just as much of a cringy campaign as the last Need for Speed did, with those live action cutscenes in first person. Have you
Did they
seen
really
those?
have that?
The last Need for Speed, I can't remember what it was called. Just it had live action first person cutscenes. It was like, dude, give me a high five, and your character goes, ugh. It's like off screen. Like it was so bad. It reminded me like this old like crappy FMV games from the 90s.
It's so good. Now I need to play a Need for Speed game.
I think that's just the new one. I don't know about all the other ones.
Oh yeah,
I don't
know.
think so for the old ones. I used to play a lot of the old ones.
I played Most Wanted on the Wii, I think. No, not
I
Most
don't-
Wanted. Hot Pursuit.
I don't remember.
Hot Pursuit is
which
probably
Need for Speed
generally
game,
my
but I didn't play
favorite.
a lot of it.
Which one?
I don't remember which
Oh.
one it was. I just played it.
New Super Lucky's Tale for Switch on November 8th.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be a new Super Mario game. I was like, what?
The
Nope.
Super Lucky's Tale is cool because originally the first Lucky's Tale was an Oculus Rift exclusive, but then it. moved
Oh
from
yeah, it was like a platformer on the Oculus.
there. So
Yeah,
now
yeah,
this is
yeah.
like a non-VR version. I don't know if it's just a sequel or if it's a port, but I know it's ported. I think it was ported to PS4, I think, or Xbox
Oh,
or
okay.
something.
That's cool.
Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition for the PC.
People who like Age of Empires will be happy about that.
Let's just take a moment to look at November 8th alone has, what we got? Death Stranding, Tsum Tsum, Layton, Need for Speed, and Super Lucky's Tale.
That's a pretty good day.
Yeah. We got Jumanji the video game for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on November 15th.
Okay. Haven't really heard much about that one. So
It's
Yeah.
got to be a movie tie-in because the movie.
It
comes
makes
out.
me think of when I see it. I didn't see the trailer, so I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong about this game.
Wow.
But I feel like it's a Ghostbusters game.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Probably.
Look at the 15th though. That's a
15
day.
is stacked. I'll list them off in a second.
Yeah.
But also, speaking of the Ghostbusters game, when does the Ghostbusters remastered game come out? Like the old.
Oh, I don't.
That probably is already out. I just
Yeah.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know. That's
pretty interesting that usually you don't get like video game tie-in games anymore.
yeah.
Like, and if you do, they're typically higher quality.
Yeah.
But Jumanji's an interesting one.
Yeah. It's
So
an
that's the
interesting
start
pick.
of the 15th, and we'll talk about them afterwards. But here's what else is on the 15th. We also have Pokemon Shield, Pokemon Sword, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order are all on the 15th.
All on the 15th.
That's an insane day. That like you got Pokemon, you got
Wow.
Star Wars, you got two of the biggest brands ever
going
are getting
head-to-head.
their like big video games
And
this
internationally,
year.
that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. I mean,
Internationally.
Well, and then
so
4 days later we have
Yeah.
Shenmue 3 as well.
Yeah, which is that's wild. But so I think part of the thing here is that Star Wars like there's a subset of people like me who will play both, but like I would argue that like not necessarily everybody is buying both or is like sort of like weighing whether or not to buy one or the other. Like people who have a Switch are gonna buy Pokemon. People who have a PS4, Xbox One, or PC are gonna
that's
buy
true.
Star Wars. There's not gonna be that much like crossover. But I don't think it's much of a choice as much as it is like Switch people are getting their game. Everybody else is getting their game.
I have a Switch, but I can tell you right now, I'm getting Star Wars. I hope it's good. Please be good. I need this
Yes.
game to be good.
This is
That-
this is the
yeah.
savior of Star Wars video games
And
right
EA.
here.
yeah.
EA.
And EA, yeah.
And
If this
EA.
game fails, Disney is gonna.
They're
have
going to
do
cancel their
something.
contract.
No,
with
they're gonna
EA.
have
They're gonna cancel their contract and never make another Star Wars game.
Yeah, that's why I need this game to be good because I want Star Wars games.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but yeah, I think Jedi Fallen Order. I hope it's good, interesting. I am also slightly tired of every Star Wars thing needing to be in between episodes 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Like, can we put something in the prequels or something in between 6 and 7? Like,
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I just have
to-
reservations about a lot of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The E3 demo was super
It
unimpressive.
just looked like a very
Yeah.
generic third-person
Yeah.
action.
There was some cool stuff in it, but like not any cooler than Force Awakens
Or Force Unleashed.
or Force Unleashed.
Yeah, Unleashed was a great game.
It just looked like a polished version of that. It
Yeah.
didn't look like anything new.
And I think that it's not a day one purchase for me.
I'm gonna wait to hear the
gonna
reviews. Yeah.
No.
But if I do, since I have my Xbox here, I'll probably just get that. But that'll also be right before Thanksgiving break, and Death Stranding I haven't played yet, so it's probably gonna be Death Stranding.
Yes.
Right.
And yeah, Shenmue 3.
And then, oh my gosh,
People
I
have
just
been
saw-
waiting for so long. Now, I will say that what I have seen of the game is not terribly impressive, but I don't know. I don't even know what Shenmue's all about.
Shenmue is like, there's some fans who are die hard for it, but
Yeah.
like for people who aren't, it's kind of like, okay. Like I
Yeah.
understand that it's a big deal, but
Yeah,
it's not my game.
I'm happy for the people who have
I
been
just saw
waiting
the
so
next
long
title.
for this
I'm
game.
Yeah.
Like,
Before we get to the next one, I forgot to mention the platforms for the previous ones. Jedi Fallen Order is for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and the 2 Pokemon games are Switch exclusives.
Yeah.
And Shenmue 3 is PS4 and PC.
Yeah.
Our next
And
game...
they moved it from the Epic Store too, so now it'll be no, that's not true. They refunded people who didn't want it on the Epic Store.
Which-
it'll be on
yeah.
Steam eventually.
Hot
but,
take, and
yeah.
this is going to make some people angry. People who are like, oh, I want all my games only on Steam, but also complain about Disney having a monopoly is
Yeah,
ridiculous
it
because
is
Valve
ridiculous.
has a monopoly in being on Epic Game Store. Also, you can buy a game on Epic Game Store and then add it to your library on Steam and just play it through Steam. You
Is
don't-
that right?
Like, you can add games from anything onto your Steam library and launch them from Steam. You still have to have the launcher for Epic, but you don't
Okay.
have to use their system. So.
Interesting.
Then we got... I've done that
This
with
is-
a couple of games from Good Old Games and, like, from Origin,
Oh, okay,
but I've
yeah.
never done it from Epic. But I know it is possible. Then this other big one. Doom Eternal for PlayStation
That's a
4,
pretty
Xbox
big
One,
one.
Switch, Stadia, and PC.
That's a pretty big one.
that comes out literally a week after.
Yeah, the week after Star Wars
Yeah.
and Pokemon.
Jeez.
And,
Yeah.
like, 3 days after Shenmue.
This is like everybody who didn't buy one of those games is gonna
Yeah.
is gonna
Doom
buy
looks
Doom.
fantastic.
Yeah.
People wonder why people can't keep up with video games.
It's because
Because
there's so many.
and so many like hype ones too. Like
Yeah.
you got Pokemon, Star Wars, and Doom all in the same month.
Yeah.
That's insane.
All
Within
the
a
2
week of
weeks,
each other,
yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have, I know, I'm not really into this, but I know people are excited about Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts for PS4, Xbox
Yeah.
One, and PC.
I haven't heard a lot about it, but yeah.
Never heard.
They're-
of it.
all the different, like, there's so many different Sniper series, and get confused.
Right.
Yeah.
There's, like, Sniper Elite, Sniper Ghost Warrior, Sniper...
Yeah.
I get
So much
confused.
stuff. And then
that's November.
that's November.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think November wins most hype.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
Well, it's
but
always
I'll say
typically
it.
November is always the
Yeah.
gaming month of the year.
So it's
you know?
it's typically either November or September. Is
I mean,
one of
for
those
me,
two.
Death Stranding, Star Wars, and Doom are all just like, that's already sells the month alone
Yeah.
with just those 3.
Some people can argue that May is becoming a little bit of that, but
Yeah.
It's also more the movie season. Still.
Yeah.
And
let's
just real
move-
quick,
I
since
think-
we're almost
yeah.
out of time,
Yeah.
December really only has 3 things, and it isn't really huge.
Yeah, Life is Strange is probably the biggest thing on
The
there.
5th episode of Life is Strange 2 comes out on PS4, and Xbox One, and PC on the 3rd. Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on the 3rd. And MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries on PC on December 10th.
Okay.
These are to be announced that could possibly be on in 2019, but most of these will likely be 2020
Yeah.
or later.
Yeah.
Most
Or-
likely, at least.
Most are likely going to be 2020, but I'll just list them off in case. After Party, Asgard's Wrath, Battletoads, Bayonetta 3,
Not happening.
Biomutant, Black Future 88, Boneworks, Castle Storm 2, Cat Lady, Commander Keen. That was crap at E3, by the way. Commander Keen.
Oh yeah.
Creeks, Darksiders Genesis. I think that already came out. Darksiders Genesis.
Is that right?
But I could be wrong.
Hmm.
Drifters, GTFO. I remember seeing that at E3. Hollow Knight, Silk Song,
People are excited about that, probably.
Hightail, Inmost, Lonely Mountains Downhill, Maneater, Marvel's Iron Man VR, Minico's Night Market, Narcos: Rise of the Cartels, One Punch Man: A Hero Nobody Knows.
Let me pause here for a moment and just say it actually has a kind of cool mechanic where one of the characters. So the whole idea behind One Punch Man is that he literally beats basically everybody in one punch. So the way that it works is that you pick a character, like you pick the character that corresponds to One Punch Man, and you play as him for the fight, and he's like super weak, and then like there's a timer while you're playing as him, and then it'll swap him out for One Punch Man, and then you'll one shot the characters, and I actually think that's a pretty cool mechanic. Anyways, we'll keep going.
This one's pretty big for some retro gamers, but a remake of Panzer Dragoon coming to the Switch.
Oh yeah, I was like,
that's
when I saw the
definitely
Sega logo at the Nintendo E3 Direct, I was like, Sonic? Nope, nope.
So this is likely going to be a 2020 game. Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection.
People who want that will like it.
Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Space Channel 5 VR. Still There. Stormland. Tamarin, The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, Tactics.
Another thing that people will be excited about.
The Endless Mission, Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, Treachery and Beatdown City, Valfaris, and Warcraft 3 Reforged. Most of those games are either going to be 2020 or they are mobile.
Yeah.
Or PC.
And I think there's a bunch of stuff that was not on this this list.
If it was not on here, it was likely a Japanese game that fell through the cracks for American publishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I want it the most, but I know it's not coming out this year, is Bayonetta 3.
Bayonetta 3, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's,
that, and then the Panzer Dragoon
yeah.
remake.
I'm anything that's definitely not coming out this year, I'm more excited for, like, Avengers and Final Fantasy than I am for any of those.
I mean, and we're looking at next year, Cyberpunk, Avengers, Final Fantasy, there's a ton of great stuff.
Oh, yeah. 2020. You want to talk about a stacked year that 2019 was? 2020 is stacked.
We're going to have to do, on our first episode in 2020, we're going to have to do a coming soon in 2020.
Yes. It'll be just that. Like, there'll be so much stuff to talk about.
Well, and you realize our first episode back will probably also be our Rise of Skywalker review.
Oh yeah. Oh Lord. that's gonna be a day.
Yeah, because it's December 20th. We're definitely home by then.
Yeah.
So unless we do like a Google Hangout one, it's gonna be the first one in like January.
Yeah, which is pretty. That's gonna be a day.
That's gonna be a long time to wait. We're gonna have to take some serious notes.
I'll probably have seen it like twice at that point, so I'll actually have thoughts.
By the time we come back, it's like they always release these movies in April on Blu-ray. It'll be 2 months till Blu-ray by the time we talk about it.
Right? Yeah.
Seriously. So
well, that wraps it up for this episode.
Yeah. Caleb, thank you for coming on.
Yes,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
This was a saga.
This was a saga. That's true. Hopefully nothing comes up and Ahmad can come back as soon as possible. Hopefully this is like a one-time thing, but you never know.
Yeah. We're busy people.
Yes. So Sawyer, can you rattle off our social media?
Let's see if I can do it again. I messed up last time, I think.
I think I wrote it on the board yesterday, and I think I got it, so I might be.
So for social media, we are at CastKate on Twitter because we couldn't get rid of our old handle.
Yes.
At CASTCATE on Twitter, but you can also find us as just the Lab Rats Entertainment Podcast. We are on Instagram at the Lab Rats Podcast. Don't mind the train in the background. We can't get rid of that. We are. I don't mean on Instagram. I mean like actually right now.
Yeah, there's no train.
There's no train on our Instagram. In fact, there's barely anything on our Instagram.
Yeah.
And then for the podcast, you can find us wherever you're listening now, as well as the following platforms: Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play Music or Podcast, whatever they're calling it now.
Yeah.
Google, Stitcher, and there's one more.
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, the most popular one is the one I forget. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, so thanks for watching. We'll be back next week.
With likely Ahmad
and maybe a special guest. Maybe.
Also, actually, that's probably a secret. We can't do that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.